Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking overnight, a standoff in Franklin County is over. Deputies moved in and removed a man from a home after they say he shot at them. What we're learning about how that situation developed.
And it's a cool start this morning at the bus stop. Temperatures in the 50s. The kids may be happy in a jacket. I'll show you how many more cool mornings are in our forecast.
Honoring first responders. Today, police, firefighters, EMS, and others can get a free breakfast. How their service is being celebrated this morning. In times of crisis, they are the calm. And we also want to say thank you and we appreciate you. Thanks for waking up with us. It is 6 o'clock on your Tuesday. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Levingood. Waking up feeling a lot like yesterday. I'm all for these cooler temperatures, Elizabeth, and I'm certainly hopeful that they'll stick around for at least a little bit.
You know, it looks like they will. It's been very interesting. Our temperatures overall were cooler than normal in August, and so far we've seen a lot of that in September as well. We are looking at a little bit of cloud cover this morning, a little more than we saw yesterday. That's not likely to change our forecast really. 56 is the temperature heading out the door, and our dew point's a very comfortable 53. But here's a look at our cloud cover. We have a cold front that's stalled offshore and some waves riding up it. And from time to time, it's going to send some cloud cover our way over the next couple of days. But generally, it's just going to be a nice fall feel that we'll see. Low 50s in the north, low 60s in the south, and in the triangle, temperatures are in the mid 50s. Looking at mid 70s for this afternoon under variably cloudy skies. No rain in the forecast. I'll show you how long our below normal temperatures could stick around. Coming up, Chris.
And definitely hoping that they do stick around. Nice to get some outdoor chores done when it's nice and cool like that. Nice to be out on the roads this morning so far. I-40 at Wade Avenue, again, both directions flowing pretty smoothly. It's usually not until the 7 o'clock hour that we start to see things getting a little more congested, and we'll be with you every step of the way when that happens. In the meantime, heading into downtown Raleigh, minimal delay on Capitol Boulevard from Wake Forest and I-87 there from Knightdale. But when that changes, we'll let you know while you're on the go. 101.5 HD3 on the radio.
Breaking overnight, an hours-long armed standoff at a home in Franklin County came to an end. This happened at a home on Twin Creek Drive off Highway 39 near Bunn. Now, that scene has since cleared, so we sent Allie Calabar over to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Allie, the Sheriff's Office says the man fired at the deputies.
Chris, a lot of those deputies were out on the scene during that standoff. This was a very intense situation. No one got hurt, but listen to this. Law enforcement deploying stun grenades moments before that man was outside. Yeah, after those stun grenades, the WRAL breaking news tracker captured this video around 12:30. It shows what appears to be law enforcement taking the man out of the home. This all started at 5:30 last night on Twin Creek Drive. Family members of the man tell us he has dementia, was possibly drinking and shooting at the walls. They called 911. He barricaded himself inside and he shot at deputies. Again, no one was injured. That scene is clear, but we're working to find out if that man was arrested or facing charges or was taken to a facility. We're staying on top of this. Reporting live in Franklin County, Allie Calabar, WRAL News.
A woman is hurt and another is in custody because of a fight at a Southeast Raleigh apartment complex. This happened at the Bluffs at Walnut Creek near South New Hope Road just before 2 a.m. Our WRAL breaking news tracker was there speaking with police, and they told us the woman who was hurt is expected to recover, but no word just yet on what led up to the assault or what charges might be filed.
Today, Wake County Public Schools is taking a closer look at security for large events. The school board safety and security committee will meet to discuss possible enhancements. The district's Office of Security has developed a large event plan for things like football games. Shots were fired after a football game in Raleigh last month. Fights forced an early end to games in Wake Forest last year. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst says incidents like these can raise safety concerns for parents.
Parents are sending their kids to these events. Their kids are, of course, wanting to go to the football games, and parents want to make sure that their kids are going to be safe. They're not going to get into a fight or be a, kind of a bystander who could accidentally get hit in a fight or something like that. So they definitely care that order is kind of maintained at a lot of these events.
You can find out more about what's in the event plan at WRAL.com.
Raleigh police are investigating a death at an apartment complex. Police found a body when they arrived at Canary Falls Lane yesterday. Officers say they are not looking for any suspects, and we are waiting for more information about the person who died. Meanwhile, a North Carolina man has been arrested after he was accused of threatening to, quote, shoot up a black preschool, end quote. 25-year-old Zachary Newell, right here on your screen, he is charged with communicating a threat of mass violence. And court documents show the FBI got a report from Google about a YouTube account making threatening comments. Well, investigators eventually traced that account to him. Newell faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted.
Happening today, state leaders will be honoring police, fire, and EMS at a First Responders Appreciation Breakfast. WRAL's Laura Levine is live in Raleigh this morning ahead of that breakfast. Laura, more than 400 first responders and their families are expected to take part.
Renee, that's right. Good morning. Right now we are standing outside the Chick-fil-A Falls Village location off of Falls of News Road. And of course, this is in partnership with the Greater Raleigh Chamber of Commerce 18th Annual First Responders Breakfast. This is a significant event for the community to express gratitude to local first responders. The event includes a sit-down breakfast with more than 450 first responders, public officials, and business leaders. Awards are given to agencies for their heroic actions, and guest speakers share their experiences. Mark Dinitz with the Greater Raleigh Chamber tells me this event not only acknowledges the sacrifices of these local heroes, but also strengthens the bond between the community and those who protect it.
We are so thankful for them every day, but this is really our chance to say thank you in person and shake their hands and feed them breakfast.
And first responders who cannot make it to that event can claim a free chicken biscuit at one of these Chick-fil-A locations. That includes, again, the Falls Village location here, as well as the Six Forks and Strickland Road location or Midtown. All you have to do is wear your uniform, or you can just bring your badge or identification. WRAL will be live streaming the event beginning at 8 a.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
People are speaking out against a proposal for a new data center in Tarboro. The new proposal for a 300-megawatt facility would be on a 50-acre piece of land near Anaconda Road. Last night's town council meeting about the data center was tense at times. At one point, Tarboro's mayor recused himself from the hearing, saying he could not be impartial. Residents and experts got behind the mic to talk about the impacts people could see in the area.
It just doesn't seem like a good fit for this town.
I am here trying to talk about incredibly complex issues that are going to affect the legitimacy and the viability and the economic feasibility, frankly.
The president of the group behind the project also spoke at the meeting. He says the center will generate and store its own energy. He also said the facility will bring 500 jobs to Tarboro.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we're tracking some breaking news coming from overseas. You see the headlines right there from the Associated Press. At least 20 people have died in what Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling a Russian glide bomb hitting an eastern Ukrainian village. That village is Zhorova in the Donetsk region. No word yet from Russia about this reported attack. Of course, if we get any new information about this story, we'll report it here in the WRAL Live Center.
Things not dying down between those two countries. Okay, thank you, Ken. Happening today, economists are expected to release revised job numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The revisions are expected to show roughly 800,000 fewer jobs added over a year period that ended back in March. The president has previously questioned the validity of jobs reports over the last few months, and he also fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner.
Wake County is hosting a back-to-school vaccine clinic in Raleigh today. The health department is hosting the clinic at Departure Regional Center this evening from 5:30 to 7:30. It's for students in kindergarten, 7th, and 12th grades. The state requires all public school students to get certain vaccines like measles unless they have an exemption. This clinic is one in a series being hosted by the department. The next one is on September 23rd in Cary.
Happening today, a grand reopening 2 years in the making in Chapel Hill. Mediterranean Deli Bakery and Catering on Franklin Street will reopen this evening. A fire that happened 2 years ago, well, it caused millions of dollars in damage. For now, the location will only serve dinner from 4 to 9 p.m. as they work to fully reopen.
UNC Chapel Hill head football coach Bill Belichick is speaking to the media today, just days after picking up his first win as a college coach. The Tar Heels beat UNC Charlotte over the weekend on the road. UNC will return home this weekend to play the Richmond Spiders. That game will kick off at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. We'll tell you what the coach and players have to say about this weekend's matchup in our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m.
Your time is 6:09. New Epstein documents. Jeffrey Epstein's estate turned over documents to lawmakers. Why the Trump administration is threatening legal action about a note with the president's name on it.
And no separation of church and state. Michael Whatley says America doesn't need it as he launches his Senate bid in North Carolina. Why analysts say this is a growing trend within his party.
And we're waking up to clouds, especially in our eastern counties, but it's going to be a great day to get outside. Our temperatures will remain in the mid-70s. We'll talk about how long these cooler than normal temperatures stick around.
And we do have a look at your winning Powerball numbers. 26, 28, 41, 53, 64. The Powerball is 9 and the Power Play multiplier is 3.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. We're seeing a mix of sun and clouds out there this morning. The kids at the bus stop, you may see them out there, at least in some long sleeves or a light jacket. Temperatures across our area are mainly in the mid-50s this morning. Our temperatures remain below normal. Our normal low is 65, so that's well below normal. And our afternoon highs, of course, are below normal as well. Our normal high right now is around 85 degrees, and we're definitely going to be a good bit cooler than that. About 10 degrees cooler. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s, much like yesterday. Again, some cloud cover out there for us this morning, and it was breezy yesterday, but still really comfortable. The Bulls have their last homestand of the year starting off tonight, and the temperatures at game time are likely to be in the low 70s. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful week for baseball or anything that you like to do outside. I'll show you how long the cooler temperatures could last coming up. Chris?
Elizabeth, one of those weeks weather-wise that you don't want to fly out of town, but if you are, we've got you covered. This is a look at I-40, 540, Glenwood. If you're heading toward the airport, Aviation Parkway, everything is flowing smoothly on the roads. And so far, again, not tracking any major delays across the country. There are some storms heading toward areas like Kansas City and some showers up toward Michigan's Upper Peninsula. But yeah, no major delays out there at the major hubs. But we're keeping an eye on the morning commute as things are starting to get busy. We'll keep you posted on 101.5 HD3.
Chris, thank you. Israel's army has issued a large-scale evacuation order for Gaza City. This is just one day after it demolished a 12-story office building there. You can see the moments the building came down. Over the last several days, Israel has been targeting these types of buildings, claiming that Hamas is using them for surveillance. This is part of Israel's offensive to take control of what they believe is Hamas's last remaining stronghold. These strikes also happened on the same day 6 people were shot and killed in Jerusalem in a terrorist attack.
The House Oversight Committee received its first batch of documents from the estate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, in those documents, Epstein's so-called birthday book that includes a lewd note that appears to have been signed by President Donald Trump. And the note includes the outline of a woman's body and says, in part, quote, "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey," end quote. The book was given to Epstein for his 50th birthday back in 2003, and the White House denies that President Trump wrote that letter and is threatening legal action. Lawyers for the Jeffrey Epstein estate say more documents will be turned over to lawmakers on a rolling basis.
We don't need separation of church and state. That's what North Carolina Republican Senate candidate Michael Whatley said while speaking at a conference of pastors in Raleigh. Whatley is currently running for the Republican nomination to replace outgoing Senator Thom Tillis. Political analyst David McLennan tells WRAL Whatley's comments are becoming more mainstream among Republican politicians, but they could have mixed results on the campaign trail.
I would say it's not going to help him with unaffiliated and Democratic voters. So, but, he fires up his supporters by saying things like that because, the evangelical vote is strong in North Carolina. And he's going to beat a strong turnout of those voters if he hopes to beat Roy Cooper.
Whatley declined an interview request from WRAL. Dozens of protesters gathered outside the conference, voicing support for the separation of church and state.
Work will get underway across the state to contact voters with missing or mismatched voter information. The State Board of Elections approved new rules because the U.S. DOJ sued the state. The DOJ questioned the registrations of roughly 200,000 voters in the state. And so the State Elections Board and the DOJ agreed to ways in which voters can cast a ballot. About 81,000 will have to vote with provisional ballots if the registrations are not updated before the election. And then another 98,000 will be able to vote with regular ballots as part of the new guidance approved today.
ShotSpotter lives on in Fayetteville. The city council has voted to extend its contract with the safety company 8-2. ShotSpotter uses gunshot technology that can pick up on gunfire within a 3-mile radius. As part of the new deal, the city is requiring database results that it is working and not just labeling loud noises as gunfire. According to the contract, using ShotSpotter will cost around $220,000. Fayetteville has used this technology since 2022.
Over in Durham County, commissioners there are honoring longtime Durham Mayor Bill Bell. The commissioners voted to rename an administrative building after him. Bell was the Durham Mayor and a Durham County Commissioner.
Duke Health was approved to open a new MRI center. The request to build it was approved by the State Department of Health and Human Services. The new imaging center will be in Mebane. It will be called Duke Imaging Mebane. The project is expected to cost nearly $7.4 million. The new center will be up and running by July of next year.
All right, if you're getting prepared to head off for your morning commute or getting the kids ready for school, we have Elizabeth Gardner with your weather forecast this morning. I see a school bus behind you there in Apex, already getting out there nice and busy.
You know, and they go so early, too. I mean, it's 6:18, you know, high school, middle schools, you know, start somewhere, 7:15, 7:30. So it's an early start for a lot of kids. Still dark out there right now. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, and Chapel Hill showing a mix of sun and clouds. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. The farther west you are, the more sunshine you're going to see as the sun comes up, and it's a little cloudier to the east. A bit breezy, too, especially Fayetteville. Winds out of the north at around 10 miles per hour right now, and it'll become a little more gusty later on this afternoon. Here's our next weather maker, or our continuing weather maker. It's a stalled front sitting offshore. We're going to see a few low pressure systems rolling up it, and that is what's helping to bring some cloud cover our way. It's not going to bring us much rain. Our best chance of rain could be Saturday with another low that moves up that front. But this is going to be a fairly stationary pattern. You can see it here. A low pressure system could move up middle of the week, sending a few clouds and maybe a sprinkle or two in our northeastern counties, or maybe even just well to our northeast, but not looking at much rain. As a matter of fact, it's been pretty dry, of course, over the last month or so, but we had so much rain earlier in the summer that our drought monitor still looks okay. Abnormally dry in some of our eastern counties, and some of our southern counties also abnormally dry, but nothing to be concerned about. So you have to wonder, well, does the dry weather, does the cool weather, does that mean we're going to have a nice leaf season? It's too early for there to be much color just yet, but as we take a look at our forecast, we tend to see the highest elevations starting first. So the Great Smoky Mountains over here around Mount Mitchell and up around Grandfather Mountain. It's going to start mid to late September, and then around Boone's going to be mid-October, and then late October around Asheville. So if you're making your plans, the mountains really need our support in terms of coming to visit. The colors starting a little early with these colder temperatures. Cool sunny days mean a good leaf season, and that's what we've been seeing. Again, the earliest color is going to be at the highest elevation. So make your reservations quickly. It does fill up in the mountains, but they would definitely love to see you. If you're here for the weekend, our temperatures will be in the low 80s, still a little bit below normal, Chris.
And Elizabeth, speaking of the colors, could start seeing those in the eastern sky this morning with some of those high clouds that you were mentioning. Meanwhile, I-87 at Smithfield Road, again, so far everything is flowing smoothly in both directions. I'm not noticing any major trouble spots here at about 6:20 this morning. There's one minor wreck around Six Forks Road and another area that's being shown as a crash, but it's the disabled vehicle there on Highway 55 in Holly Springs near Smithfield Road. But again, no major delays being caused. If that changes, we'll let you know on the go, 101.5 HD3 on the radio.
Bouncing back in Boone, businesses in Western North Carolina are still rebuilding. How people are doing nearly a year after Helene.
And new scam, who dis? It can be really hard to tell who's texting you as scammers are getting more creative. Five on your side will explain what you should be looking for.
If you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to the news team.
Progress is being made for businesses in Boone still rebuilding nearly a year after Helene. Many businesses on King Street were flooded when the storm hit. And the fall is usually a busy time of year for that area. People flock to see the leaves change or even visit their students at Appalachian State. But again, those businesses lost revenue. We're talking about the entire month last year because of the storm. And now business owners say the recovery means that King Street's business corridor is so much stronger.
We just were overwhelmed with support from the community. I think we have an awesome community here.
But that is the heart of the High Country, is local businesses. So I'm hoping that people can just continue to fluctuate that money into those smaller businesses so that we can keep pushing forward.
And we are bringing you stories of heartbreak and hope in the mountains 1 year after Helene. It's part of our new WRAL documentary, Helene, What We Lost, What We Found. That airs Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 on TV or wherever you stream WRAL.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
All right, so we got a new Knives Out mystery, plus Howard Stern. Man, he's trolling his fans.
Let's take a look now at what's trending. We begin with a new look at the third installment of the Knives Out mystery series. Daniel Craig will be returning as Detective Benoit Blanc in Wake Up Dead Man. Like the other movies, a big cast of stars will be alongside him. This time it includes Josh O'Connor, Kerry Washington, Jeremy Renner, and Glenn Close. The movie releases on Netflix in December.
So, you know, yes, big names. It's the plot. I mean, seriously, the stories are very good. I like the first one versus Glass Onion, but I'm very excited for this one coming out.
Well, the writing's good, and it keeps you guessing all the way throughout.
All right. So Howard Stern, he's going to stay on Sirius XM, at least for now. He was having a little fun with his fans, and he had with Andy Cohen there. Before Stern went on air yesterday, Andy Cohen introduced himself and said Stern's channel was being renamed to Andy 100. Stern later came on and thanked Cohen for participating in the prank. There are contract talks with Stern and Sirius XM that are still ongoing right now.
Here's the thing, if and when he does leave SiriusXM, I don't know if we can believe him, because we'll have to be like, is that a prank? Who knows?
It's like, you sure this time? Sure.
The North Carolina DMV is working on the new Museum of Natural Sciences signature dinosaur plates. The DMV finished processing all the applications for them. Standard plates will be mailed at the end of this month, and personalized plates will be sent out at the end of October. If you still want to get one, applications will reopen early next month on the DMV's website. They cost $30, and some of that money supports science education, exhibits, and programs. 6:26 now, standoff over. Deputies in Franklin County say a man is in custody after he shot at them. How they were able to get him out of the home after he barricaded himself inside.
Plus, celebrating first responders. Today, police, firefighters, EMS, and others can get a free breakfast. How their service is being honored this morning.
And it's another cool start out there. You may see kids at the bus stop this morning with jackets. Temperatures are mainly in the mid to upper 50s and another nice afternoon. You may notice it's breezy with a little bit of cloud cover, but we stay dry and temperatures will be in the mid 70s. I'll show you how much longer we'll see these below normal temperatures.